Welcome to Big Brother NSFW. Enzo's HOH is over, yo, but it's a sad night. We're here to mourn King Kaysar exiting the house for the fourth time, probably his final time, wearing his FBI hat as always. I'm joined by Karen, Johnny, and Matt, and we're going to break down everything that happened. How are you guys doing?
Doing great. I'm happy for everyone that will be finding this podcast at bbrewind.com. Thank you for the plug, Julie Chin, Moonbez. We appreciate it.
That's awesome.
I thought this was a great episode. I loved this Thursday night eviction episode. It was the first time I was yelling at my TV all season.
Yeah.
I was laughing. I was crying. It was great. What did you guys think?
I did cry. I literally cried when Kaysar started to tear up. Just a reminder of why he's such a great personality in the entire spectrum of reality television, and then got a chuckle and a old shit moment when she said America voted it back.
Oh, that was rich.
I loved his reaction. Was like, please don't send me back in there.
Well, this was the first time Kaysar's played Big Brother and not been voted into the house by America, so that had to feel a little weird.
Yeah.
Well, for me, I'm Dr. Sensitive, and I did not cry. But I tell you, I really enjoyed the episode. I'm bummed that Kaysar is gone. His exit, I guess exit interview with Julie at the end was powerful. And I think he's a class act. Probably my favorite this season. And it makes me want to go back and watch. I mean, it's kind of spoiler alert. I know he'd never won the game or whatnot.
Mr. Pre-jury.
Yeah, Mr. Pre-jury. But yeah, class act, man. And I thought the kind of fire he started on the way out, it's like, dude, I love that. And that just made it was entertainment. Whether, people were like, oh, that was not classy, that's bullcrap. To see the look on everybody's faces as he's doing that, as the camera's, panning like everyone.
It was like more than panning. It was jump cut.
Oh, yeah.
Jump cut. They're like, oh, shit. Who else is he going to throw under the bus?
But I loved it. I mean, What else has he got to lose? I mean, it's unfortunate. I mean, my thing is, because I'm new to this Big Brother thing, you guys. You guys are the experts. But I will ask if Danny or Ian would have gone up on the block against Kaysar, do you think Kaysar would have stayed in the house?
No.
You think he would have
against Danny? I think he might have stayed.
It would have.
It'd be closer. They would have been a fighting chance.
It would have been closer against Ian. No shot. I don't think Ian. As I said, I think that stupid punishment really worked to Ian's advantage, as far as taking him from a target to, oh, that's just lovable Ian. That's it. I think that those crosshairs were moved away, and even if he were on the block, I don't see Kaysar campaigning aggressively against Ian.
Mm-hmm.
No, and you've got the power structure in Nicole protecting Ian.
Yeah.
So I don't think he would have gone anywhere. I think it would have been interesting if Danny would have gone up, because you would have had Tyler coming at her. You may have had Bay and Day coming at her. That would have been interesting. I don't think they would have pulled the trigger, though. I think Kaysar was such a clear house target. I think anyone who was even going around vocalizing that opinion would have worried about creating a target for themselves instantly.
Yeah. I think that was Kaysar was just such the house consensus that it was. I think they would have tucked away that intel for later and been like, hey, down the road, like everything, Kaysar would have been potentially saying, let's pocket that and revisit it as early as next week.
But Kaysar has played 15 years ago, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So, in other words, history, kind of like it did on season 40 of Survivor Winners at War, the old school players are being taken out.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Do you think that is going to be kind of a consensus throughout the whole All Star? Like, is this going to be another season 40 of Survivor, but in Big Brother form? As
Well,
far as
it's nearly
voting?
done. I mean, we got Keisha's gone, Janelle's gone, Kaysar's gone. I guess, you've got Memphis, Danny, and I don't think either of them are in a particularly great spot.
So why do you think that, like, in Survivor, I get
It's
it.
numbers.
It's just were they outnumbered by new school kind of
Yeah,
players?
it's the same thing. If you want to have a fair fight, then you have to get 8 new school and 8 old school people and put them in the house. That is not what happened.
Yeah.
So
It was what 10 and 6.
Yeah, but that being said, Johnny Fairplay, you played sequester to ill effect because you stopped pre-gaming too early because you have a life.
Yeah.
Julie Chen's opinion when she was interviewed by Dalton Ross, why are these old schoolers not doing well? She said, well, they have an actual life outside of the house. It's hard to like do all of this pre-gaming shit and like be so game body and willing to compromise on all this stuff if you have an actual life because you're being pulled in that direction at all times. That was Julie's read, and I think there's something to that.
Yeah, there's that in addition to the fact that the new school players are talking to new school players just in life going into this.
Yeah, the old school players are checked out because they have kids, they have families, they have jobs. The new school players are still doing the charity circuit.
Yeah, and they're still talking game, whereas it's just like like Kaysar's like I played the game 15 years ago. I'm not calling Nicole A going, hey, like what do you think about this? It's just like Kaysar had that conversation with Howie, and then potentially Memphis is like. There's like a 3-season span that you're kind of still in that loop, and then it's like, all right, it's over. It's like that. Like when I was in junior high, you had the guy that graduated from high school that had the girlfriend in junior high that he would come and pick up, and I'm just like, oh my god, you're the biggest loser I've ever seen. I mean, like there's this guy, he had a convertible Mercedes, and he picked up the hottest girl in junior high. And
all right.
Yeah, and as awesome as that was, that he had the hottest girl in junior high, is just like this motherfucker has graduated from high school.
Well, Johnny, I mean, you really don't have any room to talk. You're still hitting the fucking charity circuit, and you played in fucking like 1978.
Yeah, I mean, I
was that a reference to Johnny's dating game or the?
It's twofold. I really.
Oh,
so
boy.
I mean, like honestly, with me, I feel that I'm lucky enough that I'm a big enough personality. I mean, look at the leaderboard for top contributors for Hearts Reality this year. As of the beginning of this week, I was number 11. On fundraising. So, there's a name like, you talk about it all the time, Matt, like, for those of you that are fans of Survivor, possibly the greatest player to ever play Survivor in a single season, the U.S. version of the game, Tony Vlachos, right? But if Matt is, if Matt's like, hey, I do a Survivor, like if someone's like, hey, Matt, were you on Survivor? It's like, yeah. It's just like, what are you doing now? It's like, well, I work at the hospital, work with the hospital, and I do a Survivor podcast. If Matt were to say, if they were like, who do you do it with? If Matt were to say Tony Vlachos, who by most Survivor, pure, real Survivor fans, they would be like, oh, wow, one of the greatest players to ever play the game. 9 out of 10 people will be like, oh, okay. And they would have no idea who that person is. Whereas Johnny Fairplay, they're like, oh shit, the guy that did the Dead Grandma lie. So there's the nostalgia, and there's all that goes along with a player like me that can continue to do the charity circuit and
plus we have a podcast. I mean, like Survivor NSF, like if you were not given a shit to go back on Survivor one day and you didn't do a podcast,
I would not be at Hearts Reality probably.
That's right. You would be doing your wrestling stuff. You know what I mean? It's like,
well, I wouldn't be doing my wrestling stuff. I would be finishing Cobra Kai season 2 tonight.
Yeah.
Instead of
No, but yeah, you're exactly right. I mean, Matthew Barker in the comments right now, we talked about the old school players. Enzo isn't going home anytime soon, and he's old school. And man, Enzo is one of those players, and I'm talking guys from I don't know these players.
Yeah.
I like Enzo. Yes, he's that Jersey guy, kind of like a Rodney from the Dirty 30. He's just kind of like that.
He's Dominic from Ghost Island.
Yeah, but Dominic from Ghost Island was more of an asshole. Like, I love Dominic Abate. I think there's something more lovable and less evil with Enzo.
Enzo's funnier.
Yeah, Enzo's just more like, man, I'm ready to play. Like, he's got this, like, I'm ready to play.
He's like that to himself. But when it's time to do anything, let's go back to the beginning of last night. I'm watching Enzo, and I had never realized this before, analyzing Enzo's gameplay. He talks stupid. Like when he's talking to someone about someone, he goes, yeah, like that person's like real smart. And the other person's like, yeah. And then he's like, that person's like real social. And they're like, yeah. And he says everything real slow. And I'm like, yeah. And it's like, I'm like, this guy says nothing at any given time. He says so little. Well, and then when he's by himself, he's like, ooh, here comes the moves. I'm like, what moves?
Yeah, I think his vocabulary can be called into question. There was a scene on, I think, Wednesday night's episode where someone was talking to him about Kaysar. I think it might have been Danny. And she's like, yeah, he's really analytical. And Enzo goes, I know he never talks game. I think that would be about the opposite of what she meant, but that's fine.
I want to make a point here. So on Survivor, obviously, I'm comparing the two because I usually don't watch Big Brother, but I'm like, man, this is like Survivor yet in a house. I think there is an advantage with strategy talk and lying and deceiving people when you're able to wear sunglasses. Survivor, there's no sunglasses, and I see.
There has been on early seasons. I would say probably Karen and Zach, like probably 4 seasons they've had sunglasses.
At least the first 4 seasons they had sunglasses.
On what? Survivor?
I feel like I remember Helen Glover wearing sunglasses.
Yeah, I have to remember exactly when it stops.
But I'm just saying,
we had sunglasses on Pro Islands. Like I had my sunglasses, and I was like, I can't remember if I asked or anyway, it came up just like I got my sunglasses, and it was like, does everyone have their sunglasses? Because Jeff's like, let's make this fair. And like everyone's like, yes. And then like 3 of the people, they're like, mine are in my bag. They're like, that's it. No one has sunglasses. I'm like, if you're looking for a vote going your way, you just found it. You just fucked up sunglasses for everyone here.
Because I think that's a huge thing, like, because I'm like not the best liar on the planet, and I feel like if I lied and someone was looking in my eyes, like my wife, someone that really knows me, be like, dude, come on. So I think like, when Enzo's sitting on the bed, like, you'd be rolling your eyes and like, fuck.
How many years can you lie about 4 inches, Matt? And Blue Chew commercial here. Okay.
Now, that being said, Matt, the sunglasses thing on Big Brother actually came up. I think it was this week on the live feeds where they were talking about Tyler and Bailey's conflicts in the past. And one of the things that Tyler did that was really shitty, I guess, was when Bailey was trying to talk game to him their first season, he just threw on sunglasses. And that was seen as like disrespect, like, oh, he's definitely not listening to me or working with me. So there might be like game involved with when you're like shielding and when you're not.
And let's talk about Tyler, you guys. So, and I know I'm just skipping all over because I'm a newbie at this, but he's the Joey Amazing type, the surfer bro, jewelry co-owner, whatever that the hell means. But I'm not the biggest fan of this dude. And I know, Johnny, you've kind of mentioned maybe he was a little standoffish at a charity event.
Yeah.
What are your guys' thoughts on him and his gameplay as a player? Is he a true all-star?
Yeah.
Tyler?
Yeah. I mean, the only reason he didn't win season 20 is that he got involved with, the woman that he now has the jewelry company with, and he kind of took his head out of the game.
Okay.
If it wasn't for that, he absolutely would have won. I would say he's what? That's like, what do you think? Top 10 Big Brother player? Not best character, but just best Big Brother player.
Yeah, he's really good. I really like him in the house. I hate his diary. Like, I think he might be one of the worst diary room guys ever. He gives you nothing.
There's a lot of bad ones in there.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think he's just one of those that just reads what they tell him to say.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But if you watch the feeds and you just see how he really approaches every single person differently. Like, he knows what they expect from him, what they need from him.
Yeah.
And that is really something you only see, I would say, like with the greats. So
with the elite.
Yeah. So like I said, as a character, especially with the girlfriend, they both seem, they're fine people, but they're kind of boring. And she was nothing in the house, but he's, like I said, you might not be mesmerized with him as a character, but don't ever sell him short in terms of what he can pull off in the game.
The gameplay is great, and as I said, I think it's in the house stuff. Even on the clips they show, I think you get a glimpse of how great he is. I just think his diary rooms, which really drives home the story, they're so dry with him. There's just zero substance.
Yeah, his greatest skill, Matt, I think, is he can keep so many different things going at once really fluidly. Like, he can have all these different sub-alliances, alliances, final twos going, and he somehow seamlessly skirts through anything that might come his way. Like the David thing. David's like, I just sold you out. Somehow that's no longer even a topic of conversation. Tyler has totally glossed over that and made it disappear. That's what he did his first season, was he had a final two with everybody. Everybody started talking about it, and he was able to put out all these fires as he was going. And it never caught up with him until he got caught into showman's land and then took the prize off the prize.
Yeah.
Which happens on all reality shows. Get into a showman's, game over.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's take a step back to last night's episode, just some of the highlights, and then we'll work our way into tonight's eviction episode. Enzo's group is like the mob. Kaysar says he's trying not to get whacked, and then we see Enzo drinking White Claws. Now, for those of you that are fans of White Claws, there is a Claw is the Law t-shirt available at johnnyfairplay.com. We have the gray and the black, and right now through Monday, Labor Day, is 20% off of all t-shirts at johnnyfairplay.com. Use promo code Labor Day, and don't forget, with every t-shirt purchase, you get a phone call from me, Johnny Fairplay, thanking you for your purchase. And the new Howie Bigfoot Diary shirt just dropped finally today. I'm so excited about that. That's what I'll be ordering as soon as we finish this podcast. So, but we have Enzo, who nominated Kaysar because in 4 weeks he never talked game with him, and Ian sees this as a potential problem for him, because he has not taught gameplay with Enzo. So he makes a point to quickly talk gameplay, and lots of it. And Enzo doesn't like that. Why is this guy talking so much gameplay to me?
Yeah, I think in Ian's mind, he's like, I need to solidify the fact in Enzo's head that I'm a vote with him to do whatever he wants to do here, so that I don't get put up as a replacement. I don't know. Yeah,
I think I think Enzo wanted to talk a little bit of gameplay, and I don't think Ian knew where the volume button was on the amount of gameplay that Enzo wanted to hear. But it was so funny. It's just like, this guy didn't talk nothing. Then he's just like, hey, why's this guy talking so much? Like, I don't want to hear all this gameplay. Too much gameplay.
Well, I do want to give him credit in the sense that, okay, so maybe it was overkill, but he's not wrong in the sense that, especially if Kaysar had come off the block, I think there's an extra chance that Ian would have been up and would have been the target. So, I'm glad he tried.
He opened the door.
Yeah, exactly.
He opened the door. I'm not faulting Ian. I thought it was great, but I just love that Enzo's like, this is what I want, is like, it's like, you want to hook up with the girl, and, you finally hook up, and then she breaks out the anal beads. It's like, whoa, hey, come on. Like, so,
what a universally relatable experience. Yes.
Thank you.
Ian, it was crazy because everyone's, from people that I've talked to, you guys and whatnot, like, oh, Ian's a great player. And, he was kind of not existent in the first couple weeks of the game. And that was kind of, yeah, I know. And when he said, I want to just lay back. And now tonight and last night, really starting to see Ian, and I'm loving what I'm seeing.
Yeah,
the only thing that I just want to rock when I talk about it. That motherfucker swings and rocks. Damn. He comes to my house. I have a little egg chair on the corner of my patio. He can fucking rock all night, dude. But I'm really digging him coming to light in these last couple episodes.
Yeah, that's the Ian that's the Ian that was cast. And Smart, I mean, he sees those early season targets or earlier season targets, and he knows that his days are numbered as well. So just minimize that target as much as you can, and he's done that. So, but at the same time, while he's minimizing his target, he's paying attention to everything going on in that house, and he's pretty darn close to figuring out everything going on. But before we get there, we see a conversation with from last night with Bailey and Kaysar, and Kaysar's giving their information, and she doesn't appreciate it because she feels she knows everything that she doesn't.
This is so frustrating for me because it's like they're both in the wrong. Like Kaysar is wrong with what he's saying, and Bailey is wrong in feeling comfortable that she doesn't need to listen to it. And these are two people I like in the game, and they just can't get on the same page, and it's so frustrating to watch.
And it was also a glimpse of the Bailey we saw before that was her downfall that we had not seen prior to Wednesday night.
Sure, there was some overconfidence there and got into it right away. Yeah.
So that was disheartening because this is someone, I'm rooting for Bailey, and it's just like, no, this is all Bailey. Like you played new Bailey for that, but it's so hard if you're not that person to be that person that you're not. But I don't think I think the Bailey that we saw on Wednesday night is the frustrated Bailey that has just reached her limit, and hopefully we see Bailey take a step back and be. She doesn't have to be the Bailey we saw the first 4 weeks, but she can be a pretty good hybrid and go far.
Yeah, so, and I'm the biggest Kaysar fan around. He was top 5 coming into this season for me. He might have made it into the top 3 because I just love hearing him talk. He can be condescending. He can come across a little holier than thou. So I understand getting frustrated with that.
Yeah, and we just saw a part of that conversation, not the entire thing. So who knows how it started? What was we didn't see the beginning, middle, and end of all that. And the person talking to Bailey is a person, it's a dead man walking. It's like, hey, dead man walking, why are you trying to tell me something? Like if you knew so much, you wouldn't be on your way out the door. Yeah.
Now this again, this conversation, I think it was a good deal longer, and it was, when it was on the feeds, I didn't see the whole thing, but a lot of people were very, very upset with Bailey throughout the way. And I feel like if anything, right, I feel like they both have things to answer for. Neither of them handled the conversation particularly well, but not surprisingly, Kaysar's wife is also apparently an amazing person who basically got on Twitter and said, hey, lay off the Bailey.
There you go. How great is that?
Yeah. Now, somehow I'd like to think, but I just can't really see Swaggy doing the same thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
don't see that.
Well, when I need to give my Swaggy feelings, trust me, I will.
I don't know who you're talking about. Moving on.
Yep. But I will say this conversation was followed by probably my favorite moment of the season thus far. And this is coming from someone, who loves Janelle and has liked a lot of the many parts of the season thus far. We have Kaysar's diary room in which he says he's not only winning the POV for America, but he's also winning it for BB Nation. And I'm like, God damn it. If everyone didn't just stand up and applaud and salute the fucking television and understand why this guy is such a fucking great character, then you're missing it all. Like, I'm just like goosebumps. I'm just like, that's it right there. Like Matt, you never seen Kaysar before this season. Right there was your answer of why this guy is the guy he is.
Oh yeah, I mean, like I said, this is really my first time ever even hearing his name, seeing him, and from the very beginning, I'm like, I am a Kaysar fan. Every conversation, every diary room deal, the guy is awesome, and like I said, in the game and going out as a class act tonight was really cool. It just icing on the cake for me. Becoming a fan of Kaysar.
Yeah. All right. So last night, real quick, we had the POV challenge or competition. Sorry, this isn't Survivor, and it was Puppet Master with paint. I thought it was a fun challenge. I mean, like it looked grueling. Kaysar out first, of course. I do want to say this before we really break down the challenge. David is chosen as Kevin's person to compete for him, and David wanted to show what a good ally he is. So, by definition, when you ask someone to play for you, and you and that person are the last two, and they still won't drop out on purpose, that is maybe the opposite of what the fuck a good ally is.
When David read that line in the diary room, he didn't know what it meant. So that's
like, I'm just sitting there. I'm just like, this motherfucker, of all, like, if there were 86 options on the fucking screen, it's just like, hey, here's what a good ally does. He's like, nope. Oh, none of the, yeah. Oh, just win for yourself and fuck the guy yes, that's how I will show him and everyone else how great an ally I am, by doing the exact fucking opposite 1000%.
David's been going around on the feeds. What did he say the other day? He said he had an IQ of like 187. Well, yeah, 187, which would put him 7 points higher than Stephen Hawking or Albert Einstein.
Sweet. He some say he's an idiot savant. The others they leave out the last part.
Yeah, and also, I mean, like, why exactly are you saying that? Again, it should not surprise me. David, possibly one of the worst BB players of all time, but even if somebody asks you, because they do these tests at the beginning of the show, right, or before you go in, so hey, what's your IQ? So I don't know, say 120. Right. So, I'm a little bit smarter than average, but nothing that's going to make you into a target.
Yeah.
Like, why would you say, oh yeah, besides like being physical and everything, I'm also just brilliant. That's like never a good thing to do.
Yeah. Like the only IQ thing I've seen, and I at this point, I don't even know where it rubs me. So there's this wrestler named Raven, who is known for having one of the highest IQs of any professional wrestler, and he was on, I want to say, the Bill Maher show, and so they do the pre-interview, and they're like, hey, Raven, we understand that you have a high IQ. He goes, yes, it's actually 135. And they're like, oh, okay, great, so they jot that down, and so he goes out, and does, they have the panel, and Raven's a part of it. And Bill Maher's like, Raven, I understand you're one of the smartest wrestlers ever, and one of the highest IQs. You have an IQ of 135, and he goes, actually, it's 145. My asshole friend Raven purposely gave a lower number so that he could give a fucking higher number to make production look bad as well.
That's a high IQ move. I like it.
Right?
He's playing 2 steps ahead of a game that no one else was playing. I love it.
Well, that's where I'm at with that. That no one else is playing that game, but he felt the need to.
Oh God. So We've got the POV challenge. What do you guys think of this? It reminded me of that NSYNC music video.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I like that. I saw Tyler doing the dance thing. That was a good reference. Kevin ends up pulling through. I was not surprised. Kevin's in really good shape for this. This seems like you're going to have to be pretty flexible, pretty fit, and he was really fighting hard. I didn't think
he was fighting hard. Yeah, I think his will would not allow it. Like, and the thing about he wasn't going anywhere.
Yeah.
So do you think the bukkake stuff like made them be harder in the challenge? The paintball stuff? Like,
are you just begging for a Blue Chew commercial right now?
For the record, Matt Bischoff only started watching Big Brother because we told him people get backdoored on this show.
And yet another Blue Chew spot is ready.
But Matt, this is a big Brother thing that, you do various competitions and then various, things that are supposed to be bodily fluids get, shot at you. It makes things more slippery. But I wasn't even sure with this. Did I miss this? Because normally, again, it's like part of this whole, like with OTEV, they'll always tell you what this substance is, right? Make it sound
hot or something.
Did they tell us what it was?
No.
Like it's supposed to be the puppet master, right? And your puppets. So then why are you getting hit with paint?
I was kind of thinking that someone could get kind of hurt. Like the way that you're doing this, man, it's like, could you tear your ACL? Like
Matt, I think Memphis, the host, hurt his back.
Memphis got hurt. Actually, no, he referenced it when the first bukkake blast was shot. He jumped and he actually says, I tweaked my back, flinching. Right. Yeah, so I guess medical. He disappeared for a while from the game with a medical evaluation of his back.
Man.
Yeah. Old crazy. Man Memphis.
But I enjoyed watching that competition.
Yeah.
I mean, like it was fucking Brazzers presents Big Brother POV. All in. And now a word from Brazzers.
Well, were you surprised Kevin won? I was gonna say, were you guys surprised that Kevin won?
No, he wanted it. He needed it. He didn't need it, but he felt he needed it so much that I'm sure they were just like
Bailey was like, I'm a yoga instructor.
Oh yeah.
I knew she did yoga. I didn't know she was an instructor, but you would think that yoga would really help somebody in a challenge like that.
Well, most multimillionaires are yoga instructors.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think willpower comes in more than yoga aptitude.
Yeah.
Although I guess Johnny and Lil's experience would differ.
Yep. Well, I didn't tap out after 33 minutes, but I guess I'm not Bailey.
Well, Kevin saves himself from the block and maybe saves himself from being this season's pawn. We'll have to wait and see to find out. Christmas goes up, and we come into tonight with Christmas sitting next to Kaysar on the block. And Matt threw out some hypotheticals of possible replacements. This was really a death knell for Kaysar if Christmas going up there. I don't see anyone going after Christmas at this point.
Yeah, she's just too well positioned. That's what I said. Like, if they had decided to backdoor Danny, I think it could have gotten interesting. Mm-hmm. But with almost anybody else, Kaysar was just going home. I mean,
I just think no one. So as I said, I think they would have pocketed whatever information they got for whoever he was up against, but mm-hmm. I think that would have been the extent of it. So
yeah.
So going into tonight, a word from our sponsors.
Sounds good. We'll take a quick break. If you're watching live, stick around. We'll be right back to answer any of your questions after we talk about tonight's eviction. This episode is brought to you by Magic Spoon. And let me tell you, I'm about to turn 30 years old. It's about that time I start cutting down on carbs, sugar, unhealthy food. And I realized I basically can't eat anything anymore. That's where Magic Spoon comes in. Tell them about it, Johnny.
Oh, man. 0 grams of sugar, 11 grams of protein. That's right, 11 grams of protein and only 3 net grams of carbs in each serving. What am I talking about? Magic Spoon, 4 delicious flavors previously: cocoa, fruity, frosted, and blueberry. What was my favorite? It was the frosted. But boom! What am I looking at right now? This is the greatest week of my life. I'm looking at brand new peanut butter Magic Spoon and honey nut. Oh, man. Tomorrow, I'm having both. I am so excited. I'm breaking all the rules. You heard me correct. 0 grams of sugar, 11 grams of protein, only 3 net grams of carbs in each serving. It's keto-friendly, gluten-free, grain-free, soy-free, low-carb, and GMO-free, and taste amazing. The most important part, honestly, too good to be true. you can join me. Be like just me. Try those new flavors as well. Where do they go, Zach?
Go to magicspoon.com/survivor to grab a variety pack and try it today. Be sure to use our promo code SURVIVOR at checkout to get free shipping. And Magic Spoon is so confident in this product, it's backed with a 100% happiness guarantee. So if you don't like it for any reason, they'll refund your money. No questions asked, but you're going to like it. That's magicspoon.com/survivor and use the code SURVIVOR for free shipping. We thank Magic Spoon for sponsoring this podcast.
Any fool can climb a wall or crawl through sand, but as every fan knows, Survivor challenges are won or lost at the puzzle. The most successful players are puzzle masters, and you can be one too. Fair play. Perplexers Puzzles creates handmade miniature replicas of many of Survivor's greatest and most challenging puzzles. Find out if you have what it takes by visiting the Perplexers Puzzle store on Etsy or simply visiting survivorpuzzle.com. Enter promo code FAIRPLAY, FAIRPLAY, at checkout for a 10% discount. And let me tell you, I'm hanging out on my patio on these beautiful summer nights. I have Zach Hacker coming over to my house, and we did the fire puzzle, the season 40 puzzle. I got the tree puzzle, and Zach was like, dude, these things are fucking awesome. So if you are a fan of Survivor, as Zach is, and I know he has a true, authentic Survivor puzzle that I have personally done, these Perplexers puzzles are the real deal. So go to survivorpuzzle.com right now, enter promo code FAIRPLAY at checkout for a 10% discount, and I promise you, you will not be disappointed.
And we're back. So we come into tonight's episode, and the first package we get is one Danny Donato, or Danny Briones, setting herself up as the new house target. This is a really bad look for her, as she's called reckless and sloppy by not one, but I counted 3 different players.
Yeah.
What did you guys think about what Danny's doing in there?
Well, she loves talking to Tyler, and I think it's obvious Tyler doesn't like talking to her, and she hasn't figured that out.
Yeah.
That's huge. I mean, like, if there's someone like, I consider Danny someone that is typically pretty good at reading people, and the fact that she, I mean, like, I guess that speaks volumes of Tyler's game, but I think I'm kind of reading the body language that he's not enjoying talking to her when he's talking to her as well. So for her to get such a bad read on continually having those conversations with Tyler is a bad move. So, but my highlight at the beginning was Kaysar telling Memphis there's an alliance of 4. And Memphis is like, no, there's not. It's an alliance of 6, you fucking idiot. Like, I mean, he does. He's like, he goes, there's an alliance of 4. You know this? He goes, there's not an alliance of 4.
I think Danny looked shady in this episode. And she was someone that I was actually like, as far as the girls go, I'm like, you know what? This stay-at-home mom, I kind of like this Danny girl.
She's beautiful. She's smart. She's a player. Her dad is one of the biggest personalities in the history of the show. I mean, like, you know, if there's a Mount Rushmore of Big Brother, I got Evil Dick on there.
Yeah,
he's in the conversation.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but I mean, I feel like she's playing really sloppy this time.
Yeah.
Well, they highlighted that all that stuff. They were going back, you know, and showing those little conversations. Like, dude, I don't see her staying very long in this game.
She's playing a Johnny Fairplay type game, but like Johnny Fairplay knows is like it. Like, if I'm having that conversation and I see that you're not liking that conversation, I'm not giving you information.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like I'm kind of, you know, dipping my toe in the water and it's just like, ooh, how's this? And you know, if that water's ice cold, it's just like, ooh, here's another pool over there that I can spread much more misinformation to than this pool.
You're right. She's not feeling the conversations out. She seems to just be jumping in, sprinkling information, assuming it's all going to go her way, as though she thinks all the other players are like playing in a vacuum or dumb, and then wanders away, and she's not taking the temperature first.
Yeah.
So in a newbie season, you have Danny doing what she's doing with people that are first-time players.
He's killing it.
Obviously, be a completely different scenario, but these are no dumb.
Still read your room. As I said, she's just walking in, just assuming, you know, like everyone loves me. Mm-hmm. And I think I think Tyler went in not necessarily loving Danny Donato.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I don't know what all conversations were had, but, you go back and listen to the conversation with James Ryan that we had, and James Ryan told us flat out that he told Janelle, who is friends with Danny, that Danny's a rat, don't trust her. So, and if James had that conversation with Danny, maybe James has a similar conversation with Tyler before the game, or someone that talked to Tyler.
Well, the other thing is that, Danny is a lot less subtle than she thinks she is, because, this idea about planting seeds, I mean, it's good gameplay, but if everybody in the house knows that that's what you're doing, it says, oh, there's Danny planting seeds again.
You can only do that with so many people.
Right. And like I said, she's playing sloppy.
Yeah. So.
Well, dropping alliance names to people who aren't in the alliance. That's
that usually works against you.
Also, have you guys ever heard of the strategy where you make an alliance and then turn all of your allies against each other, like a circular firing squad?
Yeah.
That's a new strategy for me, and I think there's a lot of stray bullets coming my way if I were to do that. I don't want to do that. What is she thinking?
Yeah.
But that alliance was never real. I feel like with that alliance, all 6 of the people in it immediately understood that this was not real. Usually some people think it's real and some people think it isn't. In this case, nobody thought it was real.
Yeah, I think the Slick 6 was doomed from the start. I mean, like we have diary room confessionals like immediately afterwards dismissing the Slick 6 alliance.
I think it's much worse, though, to form a fake alliance with someone and then make it so obvious that it's burnt than it is to just not do any alliance with them.
Yeah.
Like you just now turn someone who was a neutral into an enemy. I think that's a huge mistake.
So
I think Golden Ross asked one question last week of what player do we think his legacy is going to take the biggest hit? I think it's Danny at this point.
Yeah.
I think that she went in a fan favorite. I think the fans were clamoring for her. I think she's going to come out not even close to a fan favorite. And I think that her strategic game is also taking a massive blow.
Yeah. But I don't think she cares about Big Brother like that.
Well, that's fine.
Yeah. I mean, I think she's resolved in the fact of being a stay at home. I mean, like she, since she had Tennessee, like I feel she, or even as soon as she left her last time playing, she kind of left the Big Brother community as a whole.
Yeah, I mean that's good. I don't want it to impact her personal life, but I just think as a Big Brother player, she's no longer fun to watch, and she's not a great strategist anymore.
Yeah, but someone who is playing good strategy, and I hate to admit it because I really don't like him, Cody, a smart move, clearing the air with Enzo and the Rue alliance. It is the Rue, right? Is it the Rue or the Room? And he's just poorly enunciating.
I'm not sure.
I didn't catch it. I think it was probably I haven't heard the Rue. I don't know what that is.
Okay, maybe the Room. I don't know.
That dude can some mean sideburns though. Like I know he shaves sometimes, but sometimes he's got like some big chops going.
Yeah. So, but I thought that was a smart move, clearing the air with Enzo, because like he just likes him it's one of those deals. It's just like, this isn't what I planned. But like Enzo's just a solid dude, and I just got to be just straight up with him because like I just don't want to lie to the solid dude. So I think it speaks volumes to both their games, both Cody and Enzo, and I don't think it's gonna hurt. I don't think that move hurts Cody in any way, and I think it gives him in yet another final 2. Like Cody's sitting there with 4 final 2s right now.
Mm-hmm.
He's playing a heck of a game. I mean, I don't particularly like him. Didn't like him in 16. Don't particularly like him now. But the man is good at the game.
Yeah. So and he's calling. I mean, like talking previous gameplay with Enzo about Ian. He's just like Ian won challenges on week 11. Like he's naming the weeks.
Well, here's the difference between David and Cody. When Avi gives David homework, David says, "Nah, I'm gonna watch Love Island reruns." Yeah. When Derek gives Cody homework, he fucking studied it. That's the difference. David could be Cody, but he chose not to because he didn't do his homework.
Yeah. So that's really impressive. Knowing I mean, like that's the difference between a Rob Cesternino and a skater Rob.
Cody just seems very aware. His awareness of what is going on is like completely on point, and hearing him speak and talk in the diary rooms and his narration, he just seems like he knows what's going on. He doesn't. He's not a guy that I don't dislike him necessarily.
I do.
But I mean, as far if the weird thing is, Johnny, how we hung out with Memphis. Memphis seems like more of a just a person that I don't like in the game compared to Cody, but we'll see how that plays out. Memphis could turn around. Who knows?
Cody is just the boring white guy. Very boring, very white.
Boring, entitled white guy.
Yes, boring, entitled white guy. But in terms of his entitlement, again, it's like I can't really, make fun of him for that because he is good at this game.
Yeah. As I said, doing your homework, you get all the credit in the world for doing your homework with me.
I respect it.
Yeah. So no.
Well, one other person who we loved from the start, who is really starting to show themselves, as Matt was talking about, is Ian. Ian Terry has got his hammock. He's in the zone. He's talking about the octopus.
Yes.
What do you guys think about the octopus metaphor as an alliance metaphor? So we've got this core of Cody, Nicole, Danny, and Tyler, and then they've got all these side alliances and people branching off as tentacles.
Yeah, and the main two though are Cody and Nicole.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's thanks to the wall yeller who got no credit here, but they're on Twitter. Go give them a like.
I like his analogy.
Oh, yeah. Evil Dick told him what to yell, apparently. So someone posted a picture of themselves with a megaphone outside of the CBS complex and said, "What should I say?" And Evil Dick said, "Say that Cody and Nicole are bullshitting all of you or something." And they were like, "Did it, Evil Dick. Done."
And did you guys hear that there was an attempted second wall yeller? Was it on Tuesday, I think, that security caught somebody, I think, with a bullhorn, on their way to wall yell. And so that's why the feeds were down for 9 hours.
Wow.
And as far as Ian was really upset because, Nate, you can kind of, laugh about it, but Ian, really needs access to that hammock. It's one of the ways that he copes. And so the realization that they might be keeping them out of the backyard, right, just to prevent this. That is really, really going to affect Ian. I mean, I really hope that this kind of stuff doesn't actually have an impact on the game.
I do like a good wall yeller, though.
Oh,
and the fact that is that his Twitter handle, wall yeller?
It is now, probably.
Yeah. Well, and it's taken it's blown into astronomical proportions because you've got Kevin also running around the house saying that there was also a flyby plane. An anti-Cody and Nicole message. So the whole house is just in chaos about everyone is bombarding us with messages anti-Cody and Nicole. I don't think the plane is real, but the wall yeller definitely took credit on there. And I think Kevin might be running with it for some strategy, which would be very cool.
Not a bad idea.
Yeah.
That's the only thing he's done other than cry, which I'm pretty excited about.
I was hoping, I've never seen his other season. Has he only played one other time?
Who, Kevin? Yeah.
I was hoping for that Kobe Archer type guy that I'm not getting. It's missing the mark. It's just there's something there that's just not doing it for me with him as a player.
Well, the diary room producers didn't get the memo that he's not Kobe Archer because when he's in the diary room, he's very, very back talky and has a lot of personality. And then when he's just in the house, he's very mopey.
Yes, very, very, very mopey.
I don't get it.
Well, and if Enzo were to describe him, he's mopey.
Well, one other thing we can thank Ian for on those hammock chats is he starts pushing Kaysar, "Hey, light this house on fire" on the way out. Yes. And Kaysar says, "I think I might." And we get some dynamite speeches on the way out of the house. Finally, some life in this house. I was to my feet. I was fist bumping. Thank you, Kaysar. This ruled.
Yeah. It was my favorite moment of the season because it was actually wow, this is some drama. This is the kind of thing when I watch Survivor and you have a really badass tribal council that when you're done with the show, you're like Johnny and I and all of us, we're yelling at the TV. We're standing up. Hell yeah. That was a moment that I got on Big Brother this season, and I think it was awesome. I mean, it was entertaining.
It was the opposite of Christmas's rhyming speech. Because
actually, I think the best moment was right after that. So when Cody goes to vote, we hear Kaysar saying, "Vote with your heart." That was my favorite moment.
Yeah, I tried to transcribe Christmas's poem because I'm an English teacher and I wanted to give her a grade on her poem.
And
no, I stopped. It was terrible. That's not a passing grade, but I like the effort. Thank you, Christmas. That was better than whatever else you've done.
But real quick on Christmas. I think Christmas is hot, but she's got some shit ass tattoos. I mean, like the blob on the back of her neck is fucking weak. She's got a horrific tramp stamp, and then the shit on her arm isn't good.
Johnny, I wasn't looking at the back of her neck. I don't know.
How old is Christmas? Because I was like telling my wife, I was like
48.
Man, Christmas she's a cute chick, man. Like she's and I imagine her to be very tiny in real life.
Yeah,
like a really small person. But what is she, like mid-30s?
I don't know. I'm looking it up.
I want to say early to mid-30s.
But she's fun. You know, I don't think she's Captain Strategy, but
she's 38.
Oh wow, right on. But yeah,
and she was born December 20th, 1981.
Oh wow.
December 20th, what, 19 what?
Whatever you want to say about Christmas, Christmas made the decision late in 2019 to take her entire fitness business and put it online. Mm-hmm. So I would say Christmas is winning 2020, whether or not she wins the 500K, which I don't think she's going to.
But I don't understand, like if you look at her videos and her little introductory thing, yes, she's doing her online thing, and it's her doing her fitness stuff in front of the fireplace. Mm-hmm. And it's like, okay, I have a studio behind me. I could have a fire. I could move my desk that way, but I'm making a video for other people to watch. Why not? Why does she not choose a corner or other wall of her home to look like a fitness place instead of a fireplace behind her?
She's relating to her audience who are also exercising in front of their fireplace. Of all the things I'll criticize Christmas for, it will have nothing to do with her fitness business.
Okay.
Maybe her life choices, maybe her Big Brother game, but not her business.
I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, like if you're choosing to move your business online, why not? Rob has a podcast from his apartment, but it looks like a studio because that's where he chose to. I mean, it's not that difficult to
Well, what does this look like? Studio?
This is coming from the guy who has a team coming into his home this weekend to build a studio into his home. And hopefully fuck up all of your mic stuff so that we can't hear you for the first 50 minutes.
But I took some notes during Kaysar's speech, and let's go through and see how right he was. So,
okay.
The first point he makes, all of you suck.
Yeah, check.
Check. The second point he makes, you could try to play All Stars, but instead you guys are sitting around playing charades.
Check.
Check.
Fair enough.
Third point, Cody and Nicole are at the center and running everything.
Check.
Check. They have an alliance with the Bros, Enzo, Tyler, and David.
Check.
Check. They've pulled in Danny.
Check.
Check. And Cody, I hope I have your vote. That's where I went wrong.
but I want to ask you guys this. So as I was watching that, I loved every minute of it. However, Ian's the one that was the brains behind all the shit he was saying, right?
With no blood on his hands.
So to me, that is the pure nothing. I love Kaysar, but the genius of gameplay. As much as you hate Cochran in Caramoan, Don was the one catching all the heat for moves Cochran was making, right? He was behind the scenes, not getting the blood on his hands. And I would just like, man, kudos to Ian for making that happen, because it made Kaysar look cool at the end, and it made Ian look cool in my eyes as well.
What you got a glimpse of, but you didn't get the full thing on the feeds when Kaysar leaves the room, Ian loses it. I mean, he's pouring tears.
Wow.
So you got a little bit of that, and there's only so much time to, and I think they felt that they showed enough to convey that, but I think they could have rolled a few more seconds to really, I mean, Ian's happy that that Kaysar's potentially doing his plan, but Ian is destroyed that Kaysar's leaving that house.
Mm-hmm. It was evident. I would have loved to seen more, but even like my wife Tessa, we're watching it, she's like, damn, Ian's like really bummed at this.
Yeah, well, it was he continues to cry.
Mm-hmm.
So
Wow.
Yeah, I mean they really bonded, not only gameplay wise, but over both of them being on the autism spectrum and a lot of personal stuff. And you could really see that Ian respected Kaysar. And I think Ian also respects Big Brother history and realized that like a really important figure was walking out the door. That was a really, really emotional exit for Kaysar there.
Have you guys started Cobra Kai yet?
No.
Oh, a fucking John, sweep the leg Johnny. He's running the Cobra Kai, and like one of his students, he comes there. He's just like, "What's wrong with you?" And he goes, "I'm on the spectrum." He goes, "What does that mean? Get off of it!" And then they have a girl show up, and he's just like, "You can't be in here. Girls aren't in the army." So good.
Well, Kaysar exits, and we see, he wants to take his mask off and give Julie a hug, and we're not doing that. But man, again, how many times are my heart going to break for this guy with all the hugs on the way out and some awkward hugs from Danny and Nicole?
Oh yeah, well, see, first we have Danny give her vote, and she says that Kaysar. She goes, "I've never said anything bad about this guy. I will say that was disrespectful and tasteless." And then when he goes to leave, she makes a beeline the opposite way. She ain't having nothing to do with it, and she kind of like circles back the other way. And Kaysar's like, the good guy that he is, he's like, I'm not leaving until I give everyone a hug, because I do genuinely love everyone in this house, even though I just fucking lit a match and poured some gasoline. And he does get the reluctant hug from Danny.
I don't know why more people don't do what he did in like Survivor even, or in a Big Brother. It's like, if you don't have a chance to get back in the game, or you're not playing for a jury vote in Survivor, shit, dude, stir the pot.
I think
I loved it.
It's one of those deals like I know like Sandra is the type of player that would do something like that. But also Sandra's the type of player that if she's like, fuck it, I'm out of here, I don't give a fuck about them. Like, yes, I could fucking throw a fucking match, and that would be, fuck all of them, and that could be a fuck you to them. But that's not the way. Like people are so individualized. They're just like, fuck them. Like I'm not gonna. All I care about is me right now, and me is walking out the door.
Well, let me ask you guys this question here. Kaysar goes home, probably his final time ever playing Big Brother.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. There's real quick. There's rumor and innuendo. So Mark Long has essentially started a petition with Buna Murray, who does the MTV challenges. And it caught wind with Us Weekly, and it caught the attention of the producers of Buna Murray, and it looks as though they're going to do a Legends version of the challenge, because people want to see these older, and so as a result, it will be a condensed, shorter, easier version of the game, so we can see these legendary players play. So at the same time, since that caught traction, and that's what people want to see, so at the same time, Big Brother has also started like an online thing. It's like, we want a Big Brother Legends season with a shorter season, so that the people that are legends, that are older, that have families, that can't take away for 4 fucking months, they could do the shortened season, and we get to see them play. And so we could potentially see, and I think we probably will see Kaysar play on a Legends shortened season.
But let's just
So they're
say
talking a 3-week Celebrity Big Brother style, and already agreed on social media. You've got Janelle already said she'll go back and do it. You've got Derek, you've got Dan, you've got Dr. Will, Danielle Reyes, Jason Guy.
The people you wanted to see for All Star.
Yeah, like.
but let me ask you this, back to my original point. Like, Danny, you guys said before, her game this time has she's suffering for her legacy of a Big Brother player is going down after this season. Zach, but Kaysar, do you think that this just solidifies his legendary status on the way he went out, Zach?
I mean, this is exactly what I expected from Kaysar. I hoped for a different outcome, but every time Kaysar goes in is seen as an immediate threat. He's really good at being right about some things and then really wrong about other reads he has. I mean, he really correctly, like most of the information that he presented, he's been saying that stuff since week 1. He just isn't aware of who to say that information to. He's just kind of throwing it out there like really aggressively. Tyler multiple times was like, I want to work with this guy. But then Kaysar's saying Tyler's name to other people. Tyler's in this thing. Kaysar can't be quiet. And even a point in this season, Janelle says, Kaysar, I'm going to leave. You need to stop being so aggressive and stop speaking the truth to the people in power. And Kaysar said, Janelle, I can't do that. It's not who I am. I do speak truth to power at all times. And look at where it got him. He's been pre-jury 4 times. It is what it is.
Yeah.
But is Kaysar the amazing guy that we love watching on TV that makes my heart swell? Yes, absolutely. Yeah. He's solidified as who he is.
And on a Legends season, on a Legends shortened season, I think they do the right thing. They don't let him win. But I think he's on that fucking jury.
Sure.
He's one, I mean, because like if I'm there, and I don't even like Kaysar, right? Say for argument's sake,
right.
I know why we're all there to make a fucking television show. And say Kaysar is not a part of my deal. That motherfucker's like is the evil, black-hearted Johnny Fairplay that I am, and the hole that should be a heart there. I'm letting that guy make the jury because that's what needs to happen for this television.
I think there's another reason that if you've got Will and Dan and Derek and Janelle, right, Kaysar is going to be a lot less threatening than almost anybody else in that cast because he has never made the jury.
Yeah.
So I do think that if he does play again, right, that unless they really have their heads up their butts, nobody should be looking at him immediately.
No.
Guy never made the jury.
Yeah, and I'm seeing in the chat Michael Beach saying Derek's not a legend. I think Derek's overrated too. I'd love to see him go out first in a legend season.
There you go. I mean, Russell Hantz. I like anyone. Everyone's just like, should Russell Hantz be on a legend? 1,000%. Russell Hantz should be on a legend season of Survivor.
Yeah, let's see how he does. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, he tells me how great he is. I would love to be out there and see it. Boston Rob, please come on down.
Well, Kaysar does go home. Unfortunate to say, those legacy remains, I think, intact. Maybe not.
Do you think that they're seeing? CBS is following the social media. They're seeing these conversations that are taking place across the board. They know the love for Janelle. They know the love for Kaysar. Do you think that's why we did not? I mean, I think they had precautions in place, COVID related, that if they wanted to do, like if the first few people out were Cody or what, and those guys, there potentially might have been a battle back. But seeing Janelle and Kaysar go out so early and the writing on the wall from the very beginning of the game, are they, instead of a battle back, are they just like, hey guys, no battle back, let's just have these motherfuckers back in December? or January, or for Legends?
I would like to think that's what's going through their head.
Yeah.
Makes a lot of sense. I mean, programming wise, CBS has got to be scrambling.
Yeah. I think I would rather have a Legends in lieu of a celebrity.
Oh yeah.
Oh, 100%.
I think everyone would.
Yeah.
I mean, Meta World Peace was fun and all, but
watching celebrities that don't know the game and aren't, for the most part, like celebrities. I mean, like the British version of Big Brother, like those are their celebrities. I mean, like it's like a big deal to be on that show. Whereas the US version, it's just like, who said no to the surreal life? Or who said yes, rather? Either answer works.
Well, Kaysar goes home, and Enzo's HOH comes to a close, yo.
Hey, my good buddy Enzo, he said that he was going to make he has to clip one from the Alliance, and he has a plan to clip one from the Alliance because he's making some serious move with he did not he took the easiest route possible.
Yeah. What grade are we giving him?
I mean, if the test was to do as little as possible, he got an A++. So
he did no damage to his game.
What's that?
He did no damage to his game. I think we saw Memphis take an HOH that did damage to his game.
Yeah, I mean, I guess a solid C, but I'm not watching All Stars to watch people play C games.
Yeah.
So I want an A or an F.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd give him a C too. I think Enzo was also a C student, and I think he would be very pleased with that.
I think he's a C- student. If I had, and I think he's a happy C- student.
Oh yeah, he's clapping when that essay comes back.
And I'd be fine. And I would be fine with him just kind of like, it's take an easy week, right? There's a clear house target. I'm just going to do that. I don't want to get any blood on my hands. That could be okay. But then we have him saying, I want to make a big move.
Oh, yeah.
And this is not a big move. People want to get that guy out, for 5 minutes since he walked into the house.
Yeah.
Right. So you got him out. Yay.
Yeah. Nothing big.
Yeah. You want to make a big move. Ian would have been a big move. Danny would have been a big move.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people in the chat saying he should have got Ian. That's going to bite him that he didn't get Ian.
I hope.
Yeah, I think it might. I think Ian's a big threat.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But let's get to the HOH comp. We've got this filtered photo head-to-head quiz comp they're doing. I was glad not to see a physical competition. I felt like this might open the door for some people, and then I immediately saw Ian lose, which really sucked. But I thought this was a pretty compelling competition. Davon really crushed it for a long time.
I know.
And all she had to do, I mean, Christmas just, stood there for a long time, right? When Memphis got one wrong. I would have just sat there. Christmas is not going to buzz in for 3 minutes.
Right.
Yeah.
So Day, I mean, I can't believe how quickly Day answered the other ones, but just like, take a deep breath. I'm sure, she wants to, beat Christmas. Christmas is not going to ring in. Take your damn time.
And I was like, damn it, here comes the change. And then I was like, damn it, no, it's not.
I mean, this is the woman who won a foot race while she had her leg in a cast, so don't underestimate her. Matt, this is actually a reference to something that happened her first season. So, she broke her leg in the house. And then there was a physical comp. It's like a little, relay race.
She won with a cast on?
Well, basically, so Paul, who was the big bad in the house, basically just told everybody, first you're going to go out, then you're going to go out, then you're going to go out. And so they all threw this to a woman who literally couldn't walk.
Wow.
And that's what happened.
Yeah. Wow. That's crazy.
I think there were even a lot of people within the Alliance who may have shaken things up. Tyler's, people ready to make some moves. And I think Christmas might be our worst case scenario.
Absolutely. Well, no, she's going to make big moves just like Enzo and not make big moves just like Enzo. I think she's female fucking Enzo.
Yeah, they get along for a reason.
Yes, they're the same fucking person. I don't dislike either one of them, but I don't like either one of them.
I'm entertained by Enzo, actually.
Yeah,
I like
yeah.
Enzo, and I like looking at Christmas.
Yeah.
Well, okay, Matt's set for this season.
Yeah, I think we're
And
gonna
I do want to say,
that.
we've all been piling on David, but I do want to say if he wants to continue to do his DRs with his shirt off, then I will allow it. He can stay in the house. I can just turn the volume down if he annoys me.
There you go.
There it is.
Do not expect a David shirt at johnnyfairplay.com, but you can get your What Up Kaysar, your Queen Janelle, your JSAR, you're the commission. I got my commission shirt will be here for next Monday's episode. I'm very excited. I'll be rocking that. We also have our big BB NSFW shirts, and holy moly, we made it a reality. If you call it the podcast with Howie, if you did not go back listen right now, Howie is been on the search for Bigfoot. He has met many Bigfoot multiple times. They are orbs, but then they present themselves as
they're beings of light, and if they trust you, they allow you to see their corporeal form.
Yes, and so we have an
Does
image.
he talk a lot about Bigfoot on the podcast? I haven't listened.
Yeah.
Okay, because the drummer of my band, Moonbow Steve Earle, is all about Bigfoot, Sasquatch.
Oh, he could learn a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's very, very informative. And then once you hear that, you'll want the shirt. I'm buying the fucking shirt after listening to it. So Howie's Bigfoot Diaries t-shirt is now available. Howie's fucking ordering a shirt. So,
I was going to say, Howie needs one.
yeah. So,
Yeah, and if you become a patron, I have a copy of Howie's diary that he kept while he met Tukwa the Sasquatch. And if you ask during one of our weekly Q&As, I will read you a selection from Howie's Tukwa diary.
boom. There we go. That's reason enough. So that's ad-free nsfw.com to become a patron. If you join the Outcast Twist, you get this picture autographed. That's right. It's not a hoax. This is not like a Bigfoot. This is real life. And
Can you join that tier, but say, I don't want that stupid picture?
yeah. just put in there, I don't want that picture. So, and I can make that one less picture of me to sign, take a picture of me holding it up, sending you the picture of your signed picture so you have proof of authenticity.
I want someone's wall to have Philip Shepard and Johnny Fairplay on the wall.
Hey, Matt, you're getting a new studio built this weekend.
There you go. There's the guy that can make that happen. So sneak peek at next week. We understand, or this coming week, there is a Big Brother basement, and for the first time ever, there will be a In the Dark challenge. But I've seen that challenge 4 times now.
I was going to say, what did I miss? They've done that several times.
Yes.
Did you see there was a stuffed octopus in there, though?
Was it?
How quickly do you think someone was scrambling to Amazon Prime to order a stuffed octopus?
And the drone?
Alliance.
The drone brought it?
Oh, yeah. There it is.
But we have been told that 3 powers will be awarded in the dark room competition, not challenge. So
cool.
There it is. We got, I think, maybe one question we didn't get to in the chat, which is, who would you guys put on a Legends season that we haven't touched on? Did anyone stand out?
I say let's let Matt fill out that roster.
Sounds good.
What do you think? Billy, Tom, Davis?
What, on a Survivor Legends season?
No, Big Brother.
I was like, who's Billy?
Yeah.
Garcia, man.
Yeah, Bill, your Big Brother Legends season. Who you got? Travis, Stacy.
So here's the thing. So far, if you were to ask me right now who from All Stars for a legend, I think Janelle, even though I don't really know a lot about her, she definitely appears to me as a legend. Kaysar, 100%, and Ian.
Yeah,
I think those 3.
Well, Janelle's necklace is up to what now? 18,000.
It was 18,000 before we started. Yeah, 18,300, something like that.
Yeah. So
she might regret that if she goes back in the house in December. She might wish she still had that necklace.
Why? She can She can get another one. She can get another one and put that one on eBay afterwards too. I mean, Janelle's doing pretty okay in life. Like, I mean, like those guys were guaranteed 40 G's to walk into the house, rumor and innuendo. I mean, would you be shocked if Janelle was one of those? Like, you know how big that bullseye is. I'm thinking 100K just to walk through those doors.
I have a feeling she does pretty well for herself in general, though. I mean, just look all that stuff she's putting on her face. I know how much that stuff costs. Yeah. So I think she's probably doing pretty okay even before she gets. Yeah,
but I mean, but if you're Janelle, don't you demand 100K just to walk in the house?
It would be a very Janelle thing to do.
I honestly just want to quit doing the podcast and start selling expensive stuff that you put on your face, because it sounds like you can make some money doing that.
I have some stuff you can put on your face, Matt. I
think that should be
roll the Blue Chew commercial.
No, I want that for a new patron exclusive of Matt doing a vampire facial.
Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah. Awesome. So once again, support the podcast. Subscribe. Go ahead. Sorry, Zach.
I was just gonna say, last question before we're out of here. Who's Christmas gonna put up?
Whoever Enzo tells her to put up.
Kevin and
David.
Kevin and David.
Kevin.
I think Ian might be in trouble.
Kevin and David. Kevin and Ian.
Ian might get a backdoor treatment.
Yeah, I was gonna say Kevin and David, and then put whoever your real target is backdoor.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Seems like a week for that. All right.
Yeah, there we go. So the best way, or a way to support the podcast, go to Apple Podcast or wherever you podcast, click that subscribe button. Also on YouTube, youtube.com/Survivor NSFW. Click that subscribe button. That always helps. Rate us 5 stars, give us the thumbs up, all those good things. But the best way to support the podcast, as always, is to go to adfreeNSFW.com. Become a patron, even if it's for 1 month. It makes a difference. And become a patron. You get added to the secret Facebook group. We have weekly trivia, weekly Q&A. We do a monthly Zoom. It's a lot of fun. We have all kinds of fun stuff. A really good group of people. We
patron fantasy football starting this week.
Fantasy football starting, or when's our draft? Tuesday?
Something like that. Monday or Tuesday.
I don't know. Coming up. So Fantasy Football League, all kinds of fun stuff. That's adfreeNSFW.com. We'd love to have you a part of the family. It is a family. I'm so happy that I got coaxed, Karen, into doing that many months ago. So that's adfreeNSFW.com. And thank you guys. This is always fun. I'm enjoying watching the season of Big Brother. I don't think it's the best season ever, but I'm enjoying watching it, and I'm enjoying even more talking with you guys each and every week.
Yeah, cool, it's getting legs. Thanks everybody for listening.
2020 has been the year of things happening that are completely out of your control. But there is one thing that you can control, and that's shaving your bush. Our sponsors at Manscaped are here to remind you to do so. Well, see, my big thing with shaving my balls is, people are like, Johnny Fairplay, how do you get laid? How do you get some action down there? And we're talking, there's 3 major things that can happen 2 down there. I don't know how to make that happen for you, but I do know what will help make that happen, and that's shaving your balls and cleaning up your butthole.
And what'll help is the Manscaped Lawnmower 3.0. It's a premium electric trimmer that's designed to give you a confident boost through body image. Their ceramic blade and skin-safe technology are designed to reduce nicks or tugs on your fellas down there. The Lawnmower 3.0 is also waterproof, and it comes with an LED light so you can manscape in the shower, in the dark, in a dark shower if you want, whatever floats your boat. They also just released their Shears 2.0 nail kit, which is a perfect add-on to the Lawnmower 3.0 trimmer. Johnny, can you tell us about Shears 2.0?
Man, it is a luxury 4-piece nail kit. Just used it earlier today. And shaved my balls earlier today. Quite the day for me. I might take a nap now. It features tempered stainless steel tools, and it includes tipped tweezers, rounded point scissors, fingernail clippers, and a medium grit nail file. Now, real quick on these fingernail clippers, they might be the most cutting edge, amazing nail clippers I've ever used in my entire life. The Sears 2.0 nail kit also allows you to pluck your eyebrows and trim your nails in style. On their website, you'll also find the Crop Preserver, and that's an anti-chafing ball deodorant and moisturizer. This will help tame that summer swamp ass with natural hydrators and antioxidants.
You'll also find a crop reviver. That's a testy toner that's like having cologne that's designed for your balls. We won't judge you if we catch you sniffing yourself. Go to manscaped.com and check out some of these life-changing products.
If I could sniff myself like that, I wouldn't be shaving my balls. I wouldn't need to.
Take a rib out.
There you have it. Get the Manscaped Rib Remover Kit. It's go to manscaped.com and check out these life-changing products. In fact, listeners of the show will get 20% off and free shipping with promo code SURVIVOR at manscaped.com.
That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use promo code SURVIVOR. It's time to grab 2020 by the horns by shaving that front trunk.